Hello everyone, and welcome to the Self-Sewn Wardrobe with Mallory Donahue. That's me, your host, and if you're listening to this via podcast, remember that it originally appeared as a live broadcast in the Self-Sewn Wardrobe group. So just keep that in mind. Let's see how the internet connection is today. Hi Janet, how you doing? Okay, I think we're all right. I just remembered that I missed a step in my live broadcast setup routine. Hi Amanda and Lauren. It's been a while since I went live because last week ZD and I went to a blogging conference and I only went live one day last week, and normally I go live 3 times. Hi Beverly and Marisa. And hey Glenda. And there are lots of new people in the group this time around. Hey Becky. And Laura. Oh, Laura says this is her first time live, but I know you've been pretty active in the group before this. Hello, Nicole. And so if you are watching for the first time, just know that I don't always look this nice. Hi, Lacey and Kim. Hello, Louise. I actually got up and did my makeup and everything because I am going to talk to you today about my sequined maternity outfit. Hey, Nancy and Bethany. Oh, Nancy says, welcome back. I appreciate that. Hi, Sandy. And so I'm wearing this, and I thought I should, do the whole thing. Oh, Amanda says it's kind of blurry. If anybody else is having that trouble, let me know. It might, I wonder if it's the sequins. Well, guys, let me start over then. Or here, let me go up and see if I can get back in focus. Or move the light. Did that help anything? Oh, Lauren says she restarted the video and it's fine. I wonder, I wonder if the sequence has something to do with it. Noah says, I can't listen right now, but is that a really, really long ruche dress to your left? Yes, it is. It is a ruche dress, and it is the salmon prom dress is what it is. So if you listen to Sewing Out Loud, the podcast that I do with Mom every week, we talked about the salmon prom dress about 2 weeks ago, I think, and it's here in the studio. It lives with us still. So anyway, there are a lot of new members, and that's because Megan Tuffley from Australia apparently said something very nice about a way that we like to show how to attach cuffs to things, or how to make cuffs on the serger, called the ham hot method. And I do plan on making a nicer video for that. And we will do so, but there is a live video. So if you search in the group, don't Google it out in the interwebs, okay? But if you search within the group for ham hot, there is a live video of me showing how to do it. So we'll be making a nicer video that'll be posted on the blog, etc. All we have right now is a live video, but apparently a lot of people are pretty satisfied with it, so I'm glad for now that is helping people. And then, of course, if you don't like the ham hot method, don't use it. No need to get into any arguments over it. So I hope the blur is out for everybody if you need to restart the video or something like that, because I'm about to discuss this dress a little bit. I think we'll also probably discuss it on Sewing Out Loud a tad, but ZD and I were invited to Baby Lock's blogging conference that they have once a year called Common Threads, and they bring in we aren't bloggers, we're influencers. So we've been included in that group now, which is very nice. And they said that there was going to be, it said new this year, and we don't know what's new because this is our first year, new this year that there was going to be a cocktail party. And I was like, oh, how cool, And it also said that, during the other parts of the conference, make sure to wear clothing that it's, you feel okay being photographed in. And so Mom and I are garment sewers, of course. That's what we kind of mainly focus on. That's what the content of our blog is mainly about, the content of our podcast. And so we found we were excited to show off what we make, that we wear. So if you are if you're familiar with the sewing world, of course, not everybody makes clothing, so other people were there and they were quilters, they were home deck sewers, or they, published books about purses and da-da-da, but we were really excited to show off what we make. And so anyway, I was like, cocktail party, I want to make something special to wear to that, and I'm pregnant, and so I think I do have some nicer maternity dresses, but I thought, oh, why don't I try and make like a really cool top to wear with some leggings or something like that. And then, as I got to thinking about it, I was thinking sequins, and then I decided I would just go all out and create like an outfit. So I'm gonna raise my mic as much as I can here, and sort of, standing up here for you guys. This isn't the best full body, shot here, but it is basically a t-shirt with set-in sleeves. Now, I had very limited fabric on this, so you can see, if I turn to the side, that I incorporated these vents into the sleeve, okay? So I basically cut 2 halves of a sleeve, okay? So when I did that, my sleeve would not fit completely on the fabric, and so then I bound my edge with some fabric from the selvage of the sequin fabric. So the selvage was just, plain fabric. It had no sequins sewn to it. And so I bound it with the selvage, and then I actually sewed it together with some beads. And so Amanda wants to see the detail. I think I'm going to move a little closer to the camera, see if this is a good idea or not. If we've been having trouble with focus, this might not be a good idea. You guys can see. And I do plan, and a lot of you know that I have lots of plans, to publish a blog post about the costume. I mean, it might as well be, right? And then you can see on the pencil skirt that I have, and I know that I'm standing like with the live thing right over my head. Here, let me move a little bit. The pencil skirt actually has 2 darts in it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but it's almost like I have like a bus dart for my belly, okay? So the back of the pencil skirt is completely a flat pattern piece, but the front has 2 darts on it. And so that accommodates for the belly. And sorry I'm sitting down so much. I am wearing the high heels that I wore. I'll just show them to you guys real quick. Here, let me turn to the side. Here we go. So I wore gold shimmery high heels, and I thought that they went really well. They made my legs look really nice and long. And so the top is a crop top, and the bottom is this high-waisted pencil skirt. And so I really liked the flexibility of the outfit in case I changed sizes within the day or two, before I made it, between when I made it and when I wore it. And I did make it with more than 24 hours to spare. And that's pretty amazing in my book when I'm trying to make something that is like a special garment. So, I'm sorry, Bethany. She says it's still a little blurry for her. I'll upload this in HD for you guys. So I bound the neckline. I have a whiny dog. My mom is out of town, and the dogs are lonely. So if you're hearing that over the Facebook Live broadcast, sorry about that. She's mad because I have the baby gate up. So I bound the neckline. I bound the top of the waistband so that it would be of the skirt, so it would be comfortable. And I bound the bottom of the top so it would be comfortable and kind of face them. But then on my skirt, I didn't want to flip up the hem because I thought that the sequins would be scratchy, and they are, of course. So what Mom told me to do was like, hey, how should I finish this? Because I don't really want to bind it, and I don't even know if I had enough fabric to bind it, even. And she said, just, leave it raw and go along it with a zigzag stitch. So that would keep the sequins in place. It's on a knit. so it's not going to ravel, okay? And so, you know, that worked fine, and the edge looks just fine. I mean, there are some, like, you know, whole sequins, and then the half sequins fell off, so it's just a really nice, clean line. Now, I didn't bind my seams on the inside of the garment, but I could have, and maybe I would in the future for making a garment like this, because there are a lot of seams that are coming into contact with my skin, and the sequins can be a little scratchy. Now, it was okay for a few hours of wear. It didn't bug me that much. But I put the whole thing together on the serger. But the way I sort of bound the edges of my sleeve here was really easy. I just took a strip of that selvage, I serged it to the right side, and I flipped it over to cover the edge of my sequins and stitched in the ditch using my edge joining foot. So it's a little like a Hong Kong finish, okay, on that edge. And I could have done that to all of my seams on the inside had I had the time, the patience, and I guess the fabric. I wouldn't have had to match the fabric on the inside. I could have made it out of something else. But I was realizing that I would need to, you know, bind the edges of this because it wasn't folding over nicely for me. And I was so happy that I had this selvage, this fabric that was plain, because obviously it matches perfectly with the sequin fabric, so that was really nice. So I'll just stand up one more time and give you guys a little view of the outfit, a little overview if you haven't been here, okay? So we have basically a t-shirt. I had to do a little creative sleeve seaming here on the side because I didn't have enough fabric. The back of the pencil skirt, and this is even fitting me a little differently, like now, today, than it did when I wore it. The back of the pencil skirt is a flat pattern piece. It's curved on the side, but it has no darts. But the front does. The front has some darts to make it smooth on my belly. So when I was trying to do without darts, I had like a lot of dragging, but the darts really helped with that. And then you can see that I sort of bound / faced the thicker elastic on the bottom of my crop top, and bound / faced the thicker elastic at the top of my pencil skirt. So yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I was comfortable, you know, the whole night. I know the pencil skirt looks pretty tight, but it's actually, this fabric is very stretchy. It's stretchier than actually I thought it was. I was making my muslin. I'll show you. I think I've got a couple of my muslins here. Let's see. Oh, this one is, that's not one I ended up using. Let's see where one I ended up using is. Ah. Oh, this is my skirt. Okay, so this is my skirt. And this is where I was like draping it on myself and marking darts, etc. And I did it out of the sweatshirt fleece. Or sweatshirt, I mean, kind of. It's kind of like a lightweight French terry, because it's not too terribly stretchy, and I didn't want this fabric to stretch out a whole lot because then my sequins would be like really sparse, you know. So I made my muslin out of this, you know, slightly stretchy sort of sweatshirt material, and so that I could have a little bit of stretch. Know that it was going to stretch a little bit, but I didn't want to account for too much stretch, and that's why I had to put darts in. Because if you have something that's super stretchy, I mean, you've seen, and if you've ever been pregnant or if you've ever seen a pregnant lady, if you have a really stretchy t-shirt, you can put it on over your baby bump and boom, you know, it stretches over it. But if the fabric isn't very, very stretchy, you'll get a lot of drag lines and stuff. So a few of you are asking for close-ups of the sleeve, and I will definitely post those. This paper pattern, well, that's the back of my skirt. Here's where I was messing around. This is sort of my sloper. Let's see what I have here. This is the back and the front when I was drafting it as a full dress. So I'm going to put the back on top of the front. And you can see that, look, I put in, before I put in the darts, I put in a belly bump down there, okay? So if you were drafting a dress pattern for yourself and you didn't have a full tummy, okay, and you're making it out of knit, this is something you can do for your boobs or for a belly. You can actually draft a bump, and then since it's made out of knit fabric, you can ease in these two disparate curves, and it will create some more room in the front for you, either, you know, for whatever, for a full bust or a full tummy. Oh, and Lauren says, that's a stiffer paper than my medical roll. What is that one? This is like a butcher paper of unknown origin, okay? So that's what I was kind of using to draft my sloper on. And then here is my tracing paper pattern. Now, one of the challenges with sewing with this sequin fabric is that it did not like it when I tried to like pin things to it. Like, I pin my pattern pieces to my fabric just to keep them, you know, together. And so I was like, oh, I'll just put a straight pin through here, and the straight pin hits the sequins, and I move it, and it tore a little bit. But anyway, that was one of the challenges. Another challenge, I don't know if you guys can see sequins scattered all over the place here, but they kind of go everywhere. So anyway, those were kind of my test garments, and I did muslin this out because, like I said, I had very limited fabric. Like, there's maybe enough of this fabric to make some pockets for some shirts or something in the future, but no like entire garments made out of them. So it's the end of this fabric. Now, this fabric is 10 years old. The reason we ordered it and used it in the first place was when I competed in a ballroom competition when I was a senior in high school, and I had my 10th high school reunion on Saturday. So I was 17 or something like that when I wore it the first time, and I am now 27. Maybe I was 16 because it was earlier in the year when I did that ballroom competition. Anywho, yeah. Oh, and Lacey says, easy tee with a cute sequin chest pocket. That is exactly what I picture. Actually, I was holding up that gray sweatshirt material, and I think it'd be so fun to do something in a more sort of humble material, like a gray heathered, you know, like sweatshirt fleece or French terry, and then put that sparkly sequin pocket on it. I think that'd be great. Lauren asks, how did you finish the set-in sleeve so as not to be slashed in the armpit? Like, I think what Lauren is asking is about the sequins sticking out of my seams. So I used a 3-thread overlock narrow on my serger, and I used stretchy thread, the Maxi Lock stretch thread, and I tested this out beforehand. I couldn't have said for sure that that this would work, okay, before testing it, but I tested it out, and it did a nice job of finishing the seams. I was like, I'm going to be able to handle this. So when I believe I posted a couple videos of this on Instagram, but I, you know, did a seam, I stretched it, and sometimes some sequins would like be cut and they'd be coming out of the seam, and I could just pick those out. So I kind of did a little pick over of my seams, and honestly, it's not too bad. I didn't have even like actual scratches on my body after taking this off. I've worn some beaded garments before, and then taken them off and gone to bathe, and then like, I'm like, ow, my underarm is raw because it's been cut up all night because of the sequins or the beads, but that didn't happen here. Oh, and Lauren said, is that an easy tee? No, this is not an easy tee. The easy tee, you know, that I know you know, Lauren, but if anybody doesn't know, the Easy Tee is our online drafting class for a woven t-shirt, and it has a dolman sleeve. So I did this one with a set-in sleeve, and then as I was doing this, as I was making this shirt, I was like, man, there's something I love to do, is to draft a set-in sleeve for a knit garment, okay? It's the most rewarding experience, I feel, because it's not that difficult once you know what to do. I mean, of course, anything, you know, you need to learn. And then, since it's a knit, even if you're a little off, that sleeve goes in that t-shirt. Awesome. And so, anyway, we plan on doing a perfect knit t-shirt class as well for those of you who like our method of drafting. And I can't wait, because I think so many of you will be delighted with yourselves after you draft your first knit t-shirt. So anyway, Lauren says, oh, I have some non-stretch sequin animal print that needs to be made up. That would be a good easy tee, absolutely. Now you can make the easy tee out of knit, and I kind of contemplated that for this, but this fabric, I've made some easy tees out of knit, and I made them fit closely just by like taking up that side seam. And I wasn't happy with that look for this dress. And so one of the big things about this dress that I was concerned about is I didn't want to look like, a pregnant like figure skater or something like that, or that I was wearing like a dance costume. Now, of course, it's over the top, and if you think it looks like I'm wearing a dance costume, you're totally justified in thinking that. But what I think was important about the whole silhouette of this outfit was that it's a classic silhouette, okay, with this scooping neckline, the sleeves that go right above the elbow, the pencil skirt, okay? All of that is very tasteful, okay? But then it's made out of this crazy fabric. So when I first was doing this and I was worried that I didn't have enough sleeve fabric, I was really worried, because I think that sleeves kind of make this into not a silly outfit. I think it's key for me in the design process. Lonnie says, hi there, long time no see, and Shannon says she's catching us late. We're glad to have you ladies, along with lots of other new members. So I was very concerned when I thought I wouldn't have enough sleeve room on the fabric, or enough fabric to draft those sleeves. So I drafted my perfect sleeve pattern. I said I want it down to here. I made it a little longer. I think I made it to my elbow. And then I laid it out on the fabric and made sure that I had enough, and I could do it half and half and do this kind of like binding bead technique here. And so one note that I would have is, so I have this sleeve pattern. So if you all have made a t-shirt, a lot of knit sleeves are the same on the back and the front, right? And you can place it on the fold. So it's like when I draft my knit sleeve patterns, they look like half a sleeve, okay? So I have this half a sleeve pattern, and I was laying it on my fabric and just putting it down, and I knew I need 4, right? 4 halves would make 2 sleeves. And I was laying it out, and I don't know what sort of divine intervention happened, but a little voice in my head that I don't think was mine said, make sure to flip that sleeve pattern over, okay? And I almost didn't. I almost just cut out like whatever it would have been 4 back sleeves, because there's definitely a right and a wrong side to this fabric, right? So I made sure to cut out 2 facing one way and then 2 facing the other way, and all was well. But if I had messed it up, that would have been the end of sleeve time. There would have been no sleeves. Not only like not the sleeve length I wanted, but no sleeves. So I'm so happy. I don't know. That's just totally a mistake I would make. You know, like just kind of getting excited about, oh, okay, I've got enough fabric. Great, let's just cut out 4 of these guys and not flip the sleeve pattern over. And most of the time, I mean, this is why, for me, this is why I buy 3 yards of fabric when I buy fabric, just in case I make some silly mistake like that. And